Your host, Suzette Clement, with EnhanceUNet, a Utah-based company. Introduction to Brand Yourself, Successful Networking Using LinkedIn Plus, a three-part series. My intention is to enhance your net. At a recent workshop with 25 people, we had a variety of people. We had over 50% of them were business owners, professional salespeople, and employees looking to transition. We also had a variety of companies, or industries rather, medical, fitness equipment, real estate, title companies, street painters, furniture store, CPA firms, and various business services. We asked them, one of the first things, what were the challenges that you were having when you would network? And we had quite an extensive list. Take a look. Most were looking for a long-term partnership. Well, what would be an example of that? Let's say you're a merchant service provider. A great partnership for you would be anybody that's in the business-to-business market. They might be able to refer you or become an affiliate for you. Creating high-value brand. In this situation, there's actually three categories. A company might be brand new and just trying to get the word out. You might have a company that's been around for a while but trying to improve their image. Or you might have a company that is completely doing a 360 and doing a complete rebranding altogether. Changing mindset. Now, this was another popular one that overlapped a lot of the industries. In my example, I deal with identity theft. And identity theft, if I start out with finance first as one of the key problems, instantly people will think, oh, well, my credit sucks, so they can have my identity. Or, oh, I've got that handled, I got something through my bank. Then leaving themselves completely open and vulnerable to all the other areas. Because in addition to finance, I have to educate them, which is the next category, that there is medical. Medical can kill them. We also have, in addition to the finance and medical, we have character criminal. It can imprison them. It can have taxes with the IRS so that if somebody's working under your name, they can actually claim all the money for earnings, but you get stuck with the taxes. And then we also have driver's license, where on the driver's license you might end up having a DUI on your record and you don't even drink. So these are just some of the examples. And this is another area of education that a doctor in that room had also experienced, because he had to educate the market that you don't always have to have insurance. What he did in his practice is that instead of having to claim any insurance companies at all in his practice, he actually would charge a flat rate for a family or an individual, and that would give them the medical services for the entire year. So he had to educate the market. And then educating the market and also an unsettled market overlapped a lot in the real estate field, because a lot of people are just flat out too afraid to buy a house sometimes, because maybe they're afraid of the economy. Are they going to continue to have a job? If they buy this house, will I lose a ton of money because the interest rates and everything will plummet like it did in recent years? So you have a very unsettled market. Then to get the word out with clarity. Again, this is another area that had a lot of people say, yep, that's me, all right. They either have a challenge of getting the word out either too fast, too slow, not enough, or too much, and not having a hook or a grabber to pull people in to want to learn more. So this is an area of concern. Starting conversations with the right question. If you just happen to come across somebody that might happen to be a good prospect for you, but you didn't know that they were going to be there, you really don't know what would be the right question to start off with to really gain their interest and their focus on you. And so this is something we'll be addressing. Knowing where to target for business and or for career marketing. Network with realtors. I use that as a specific niche. For example, who all pertains to a realtor? You have your title company, you have finance company, you have your printing company. You have a lot of people that are involved, and if you don't know or understand who is all involved in a particular niche, you might be leaving money on the table. You have to understand who the players are. Get to the truth. I bet you've come across this a time or two if you've done any kind of networking at all. Have you ever been to like a chamber function or something and have, say, Sally Sue say, hey, I know George over here at XYZ. Here's a referral for you. and they give you the referral. And when you call up George, say, hey, Sally Sue referred me over to you and thought that you might be able to benefit from our services. He's going to go, Sally Sue who? Where she might have had him in her database, but she hadn't really developed any kind of relationship. She might know of him or about him, but does he really know anything about her? We're going to show you through this series how you can actually develop those relationships without taking up a ton of time, and yet having relationships that can actually build for future success. And you'll know the people that are referring you to that person if they really do know them or not. Save you some time, because sometimes the worst kind of introduction is to have an introduction that they really don't know who it is that referred you, and that's actually worse than a cold call in a lot of cases. Get comfortable. Getting comfortable is something that is both important for the introvert that really has a hard time like reaching out, say hello. They're really stretching their boundaries, to somebody that might be such a ball of energy, such as myself, and I might be coming up to you, and if I don't know how to adjust that ball of energy when I come up to, especially like an introvert, that could actually wipe out that person before you even get an opportunity to meet that person. So we're going to show you both sides of the coin of how you can make the best situation out of that and how to watch for it. Find a specific name, and once I have it, then what do I do with it? This usually happens when you happen to come across somebody at a networking event that you weren't really planning on being there. And because you haven't really done your homework, you really don't know who all might be a participant in any kind of decision-making process to know where you need to take that discussion to for the next level. And so we're going to be addressing that. Follow-up asset, creating a relationship before I need it. This was a key factor for both the employees that are in transition as well as business owners. And the reason why it was a key component for business owners is because sometimes if a business owner has all of their eggs in the basket, so to speak, with one company, maybe it's a big company and so it's a big paycheck for them, but if they have not spread themselves out enough in creating other relationships, if something happens to that egg of baskets or that basket of eggs, you know, they go belly up or get a better deal somewhere else or whatever the case may be, it can put you in a very serious situation in a very quick time. We're going to show you how you can address that issue long before. A strategic approach to stand out. This, too, was a major factor for a lot of people. Let's say that there's 3 carpenters in the room. Have you ever noticed how, like, a BNI group usually will only have, like, 1 carpenter, right? Why is that? Because so many of them have such a challenge, not just carpenters, that's any position. They have such a challenge to make themselves stand out, to make them stand out to be unique enough and interesting enough that others want to come towards them. We're going to address that. And time commitment to work with the right people. So often people are going from networking group to networking group, really not putting in the time commitment that's necessary to develop the relationships and trust in that group to start building a strong network. But a lot of times they're spending time in the wrong groups. That's not going to really get them much of anywhere. The challenges in the networking, what we found to be on average was that 3 of the following 15 challenges overlapped. Now those 3 areas varied with the company, but they were still of the original 15. I thought that to be very interesting. Brand yourself. Successful networking using LinkedIn Plus, a 3-part series. Webinar 1 is Brand Yourself on LinkedIn. The magnetic approach to prospecting C-level executives plus. Webinar 2 is the art of management. Management of strategic relationships causes networking to work. Webinar 3, creating leverage. A snapshot of Webinar 1, Brand Yourself on LinkedIn. This addresses how to brand yourself by setting up your profile to create attraction marketing, how to show yourself as an authority via Content Plus, also how to identify your ideal prospects and target them on LinkedIn, up to 3 degrees out. Did you know that you can actually contact anyone in the world within 6 degrees? Well, I'm going to get you at least halfway there. Key points to networking. You bring value, your target has value, and together it's a win-win strategic alliance. Have you ever noticed when you're at a chamber function or a BNI group how it tends to take time to actually develop enough of a relationship to start rolling in the referrals. Why is that? Well, it's because with time and observed actions, that develops trust. And we're going to show you how you can maybe accelerate some of that area to get that trust built faster and the referrals rolling in. Keyword research, bonus materials for Webinar 1. Brand yourself on LinkedIn. Free resource. This is a 2-hour training on keywords so that you can maximize your LinkedIn profile. Here's the link, http://Koyman, KOOYMAN_s.key, KEY, word, WORD, research, RESEARCH, secret, SECRET.com/. Bonus materials for recommendations, Webinar 1, brand yourself on LinkedIn. If you would like to recommend this training to others, please do so. Brand yourself on LinkedIn for the individual webinar. To recommend the series, Successful Networking Using LinkedIn Plus, a 3-part series. If you gain value from this presentation, then please post a recommendation on your LinkedIn profile. When I see the recommendation, I will send you some bonus materials to grant you even more exposure and a free webinar on how to get endless flood of prospects from Twitter. A simple little Twitter process that once set up only takes 10 minutes per day to manage. How to turn Twitter into an automated cash cow. You don't want to miss this incredible bonus. If after the webinar you have any questions, please personal message me to LinkedIn. Find me under Suzette Koyman. Here's the link, www.linkedin.com/in/Suzette Koyman. Snapshot of Webinar 2, The Art of Management, offering tips and tricks to manage the relationships, tools to give you a bird's eye view, tools for tracking, an Excel file for your use, the 2 types of live events and their explanations, tips for live events, getting the most out of your networking time, know where you need to be in order to be the most effective in networking, how to grow your value in LinkedIn and becoming a master of influence. Bonus materials for recommendations, Webinar 2, The Art of Management. If you would like to recommend this training to others, please do so. The Art of Management is the individual webinar. To recommend the series, Successful Networking Using LinkedIn Plus, a 3-part series. If you gain value from this presentation, then please post a recommendation to your LinkedIn profile. When I see the recommendation, I will send you bonus materials to grant you even more exposure and another free webinar pertaining to Facebook Marketing Gone Wild. This 1-hour and 45-minute training exposes a simple scientific formula one woman uses to get 25+ fans and 36+ leads per day on Facebook in 60 minutes or less. If after the webinar you have any questions, please personally message me at LinkedIn. You can please find me under Suzette Koyman. Here's the link. Webinar 3, Creating Leverage. Even though each webinar can stand alone in understanding and benefit, you will gain the most if you have watched the previous 2 to get the most out of it. Each segment builds upon the previous webinar for a maximum gain. Keyword Research, bonus material for Webinar 3, Creating Leverage. In this segment, I have a couple of downloadable extras, a worksheet for you to use to help you apply the Learn Leverage, extra tips on getting your exposure to LinkedIn profiles, plus a resource to help you take your content and videos to the top of Google and to stay there. You've got to check it out. http://Koyman, KOOYMAN_rank-and-stick-SEO.com/. Sure, and check it out. Because this dangerously effective system promotes your content to thousands of authority sites and high PR blogs for competitive first-page SEO rankings, free traffic all day, and a flash flood of buyers for your business, all on 100% autopilot. Bonus materials for recommendations, Webinar 3, Creating Leverage. If you like what to recommend this training to others, then please do so. Creating Leverage is the name of the individual webinar. To recommend this series, Successful Networking Using LinkedIn Plus, a 3-part series. Wild Webinar Caught on Tape reveals how some marketers found a way to instantly and legally get 2,500 plus shares, retweets, comments, likes, etc. on every piece of content that they create. immediately, automatically, and all on autopilot, thanks to this one simple and free tool. If after the webinar you have any questions, please personal message me in LinkedIn. Find me under Suzette Koyman. Here's the link. Webinar recap of goods. In addition to the individual webinars on LinkedIn and networking, you will receive the following. Webinar 1, you're going to get a free resource. This is a 2-hour training on keywords so that you can maximize your LinkedIn profile. Here's the link, http://Koyman, KOOYAN_keywordresearchsecret.com. Webinar 2, another free tool to give you a bird's eye view of your LinkedIn network. Tools for tracking, an Excel file ready for your use for this upcoming year. Webinar 3, a couple of downloadable extras, a worksheet for you to use to help you apply your Learn Leverage, extra tips on getting your exposure on your LinkedIn profiles, plus access to a resource to help you take your content and videos to the top of Google and to stay there. You've got to check it out. http://Koyman, KOOYAN_S.rank, RANK, and AND, stick, STICK, SEO.com/. Webinar recap of bonus materials for recommendations. So when you recommend webinar 1, you get a free webinar on how to get endless flood of prospects from Twitter. This simple little Twitter process that once set up takes only 10 minutes per day to manage. How to turn your Twitter into an automated cash cow. You don't want to miss this incredible bonus. Webinar 2, you get a free webinar pertaining to Facebook, Marketing Gone Wild. This 1-hour, 45-minute training exposes a simple scientific formula one woman uses to get 25 plus fans and 36 leads per day on Facebook in 60 minutes or less. Webinar 3, Wild Webinar Caught on Tape reveals how some marketers found a way to instantly and legally get 2,500 plus shares, retweets, comments, likes, etc. on every piece of content they create immediately, automatically, all on autopilot, thanks to this one simple and free tool. The value. The above information was a collection from 4 different areas of expertise: LinkedIn, body language expert, professional sales, networking authorities, all of whom are known on a national and international level for their areas of expertise and their proven methods. Collectively, on just the areas I have covered in just these 3-part series, I have paid over $300, let alone other areas that will be covered in upcoming webinars. I've broken it down into 3 bite-sized chunks in order for you to get the most out of it and to be able to apply its teachings right away. I wanted it to be affordable for everyone interested in networking and direct sales, especially those who are in the network marketing field that also markets to businesses directly or to the employee benefit arena. Value continued. I want to pull your attention to the little box at the bottom, the little yellow box with the red line around it. http://tinyurl.com/brand-yourself-now. I wanted to let you know that this is a link to an Eventbrite page that will give you additional detail of the various webinars and the pricing both for individuals and for companies. And of course, you get a discount if you buy the entire series at one time. So let's continue. First of all, it has a 100% money-back guarantee. In addition to the foundation material for LinkedIn and networking, I have provided other resources and free webinars. This is to help you gain footage in the world of content marketing, to show your authority in a particular field as described in the webinar. I've also granted you free resources to get the most out of the other popular social networks, such as Twitter and Facebook. The price of each foundation webinar pertaining to LinkedIn and networking is $30 per webinar or $75 for all three if bought at once. That's a 17% savings. Plus, all the webinars, like I mentioned before, come with a 100% money-back fee. Successful Networking Using LinkedIn Plus, a three-part series. Like I mentioned before, has a 100% money-back guarantee, and you can click on that tiny URL, brand yourself now, to get right to your PayPal location for your investment in your future. The name of the webinars, again, are Webinar 1 is Brand Yourself on LinkedIn. The Magnetic Approach to Prospecting C-Level Executives Plus. Webinar 2, The Art of Management. Management of Strategic Relationship Causes Networking to Work. Webinar 3, Creating Leverage. Again, 100% money-back guarantee. I'm looking forward to serving you. Remember to download this file that is attached, that you'll have all the slides that we just covered. The link is in your YouTube description below. You can personal message me at www.linkedin.com/n/Suzette Koyman. Give my name as Suzette Koyman at Enhance Your Net, or text me at 801-638-9474. To your success.